Well, hi everybody, it's Mike Griffin, and I wanted to make a short video for you on the contents of the Imitation Kit that Eric Rule has cut for me. This is a test build. This is designed by Ted Fancher, and it's been probably one of my most successful endeavors as far as kit producing. Seems to be a big demand for it. I think you're going to have a lot of fun with it, both building it and flying it. But today what I want to do is I just want to go through this real briefly to show you what to expect when you open your box. There's a lot of material in this kit. What I need to do, also I will be doing a build thread later on. My main purpose right now is to go through here and dry fit everything according to the plans and make sure everything fits so I can get your kit shipped out to you. Then I will take the time to build my own kit and do a build thread and probably post some pictures for you, or maybe even a video. So with that being said, let me just run through the contents real quick so you can see what you're going to get in your kit. I've kind of tried to separate these by fuselage, stab, and wing components. First thing I want to do is show you and get out of the way really is the sticks and for the kit. This is primarily your components for the stab and elevator and flaps. They're all built up. There's no solid slab material for flaps, elevator, and stabilizer. The rudder is solid wood, but this is not. So this will all go in to be in the kit. It'll all be used for your built-up movable flaps, elevator, stab. Also, the sticks are in here for the inside of the fuselage where you do the worn truss type construction. Instead of cutting it out with the laser, there's notches and you have to cut these to length and put them in there. That's the way Ted kind of wanted to do it, so that's the way we did it. So anyway, here's your sticks, and then you've got your sheetings. Any block material are here. As you can see, there's quite a bit of that. And then trailing edge stock. So there's a lot of balsa just right there with what you're going to need for sticks and sheeting and that type of thing. So I'm going to get these out of the way and I'll be back and we'll start getting into the laser cut components. Okay, I'm back. Did you miss me? Oh, by the way, here's the bent wire landing gear. It's a wing mounted gear. It's in the kit for you too. And there's actually a little piece of, I think that's 1/16 inch wire to make your tail wheel gear out of, if you wish. All right, let's kind of look at the fuselage construction here. I'm going to put my glasses on first of all so I can see what I'm doing. This is one of the pieces that you laminate together to make the fuselage out of, which is 3/16 of an inch thick. You can see, I'm going to try to hold it up to the camera and make sure the light's right. You can see there's your wing cutout is here. You actually see that there's another piece that goes on the front of the fuselage. It's kind of you have to join them together to make the fuselage length. That's because the length of the balsa doesn't come long enough in 36 inches. Here you'll see the cutout I was talking about that you will cut out and you will actually put your worn truss material, your sticks in there. This of course is cut out for the stabilizer. So there's two of these that you laminate together. They're 3/16 piece. You laminate those together. All right. Here's the other one, right there, as you can see. And you know, there's when you laser cut stuff, you have to make the most maximum use out of the balsa you can. And you've got elevator tips, stab tips here. So when you start punching this stuff out to build your thing, you want to kind of separate them, make sure you get all your wing components and stab components and all that together. All right, so let me get those out of the way. Once you glue those two pieces together to make your core, then there's also two pieces that match that are cut from 1/16. That are these pieces right here. This one is actually, the laser cut, it actually came out of the piece of balsa. But once you laminate those two pieces of 3/16 together, then you take these 1/16 pieces and laminate them to the outside, and that gives you your 1/2 inch fuselage. So you actually got 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces making up your fuselage. All right, now this piece is, you've got several things in here. You got the extension to the front. Let me do it like this. You have the extension to the front of the fuselages here that you glue, that I was talking about. This is actually your canopy. There's two pieces there that you glue together to get your canopy. These are tail components, rudder and dorsal fin components here. You have some other miscellaneous pieces in here like elevator root and elevator elevator root and outdoor front temp. All these little pieces, they go together to build your built-up stab and elevator. They're sort of scattered out throughout the kit because you have to make maximum use of where you can laser cut stuff in balsa. Okay? All right. This, again, are your 1/16 pieces that you laminate to the 3/8 pieces of your canopy to give you the full width of the fuselage. All right. These are interesting pieces. This is your plywood pieces that come in. These are this is 1/8 inch plywood. And what I want to point out here is this kit can be built either electric or glow. Most of the people I think that I've sold to are going to go glow, but it lends itself very easily to an electric conversion. This is the front where your radial mount for the engine goes, right here. You have to take two of these and glue them together to give you a 1/4 inch piece. These two pieces that you're looking at are for your electric motor. You glue these two pieces together, you punch them out, you laminate them together, and then when you glue it to the airplane, you have places where your dowel pins go through to secure this to the front of the plane, of course. And then you have holes drilled out for your motor where you can actually mount your motor. And then there's a little bearing box that goes back behind here. This is all in there if you want to go electric. You don't have to worry about it. This is just simply for your glow mount. You know, you're going to have to, depending on what size mount you buy, whether it's a 46 or a 50 or a 51 or whatever it is, you will have to drill your own holes and make a use your engine as a template. But these holes you see here, these three, that's for your dowel pins to go through into the front of the fuselage to secure this. Also, you've got your suspended belt crank mounts on here. One top, one bottom. Okay? All right. This, of course, is your doublers. This is plywood doublers. They go on the front of the fuselage. You see you have a cutout there for your gas tank. Actually, there's some dotted lines on here that you'll see when you get your kit. And Eric was really good. He put dotted lines on there if you want to cut out for a plastic tank. Put dotted lines on there if you want to cut out for a battery for your electric, or one of the GRW tanks that he sells. It's all on plans. It'll show you on the plans, you know, how to do that, how to cut these out. I don't know if you can see them on camera or not, but there's 3 different lines on there, and depending on what you're going to do with that hole in the side of the front of the fuselage, whether it's going to be a battery, a plastic tank, or a metal tank, you cut out the appropriate one. And then these little pieces here are parts of your bearing box for an electric conversion. Okay? All right. That pretty much takes care of the fuselage. Let's talk about the wing a little bit. This is a piece of this has got your wingtip components on it. That's what that is. You cut those out and you laminate them together, and this builds up your wingtip. There's more of them right there. Couldn't get them all on one board. Okay. These are your ribs. Now let me tell you about building this wing. I use a magnetic building board, which I love. I build all my wings on it. They build straight. It's easy to do once you get used to it. However, some people like tabs on the bottom of the ribs, and some people like holes in the ribs so they can use a rod jig. Well, this airplane can be built, or this wing can be built either way. As you see right here, there's a tab, a big long tab on the root rib, and there's also one on the tip rib. You can use that to set your ribs up on your building surface, and then use your rods through your holes here. Carbon fiber rods is what I would suggest. So you'd have a root rib and a tip rib that are on that, and then your rod would go through there if you want to build it flat on the surface, if it's not a suspended rod jig, You could do it by putting the root rib down and the tip rib down, and then running your other ribs over the rod, and have a bench top template, more or less. Not every rib has a tab on it, only your root and your tip ribs. So I hope that makes sense. I've built wings like that before. Personally, I like to use my magnetic building board. But if you want to use a rod jig, that's what these holes are for. And you can actually set it down. So a lot of these rod jigs are suspended. You just put the ribs on there. You don't need these tabs. But if you want the tabs, you've got one on the root and one on the tip, and then you can run your rods through there and use it as a jig that way. Okay, and all this is just more ribs. These are all your ribs. There you go. Right there. That's what the ribs look like. And this one, I said a while ago, I showed you the root rib with a tab on it. And there's the tip ribs on here. There's tip rib, R14. That's your tip rib right there with a bottom tab on it. Okay, that makes more sense now that you can see both of them. Ribs, and more ribs for the wing. And then, of course, you've got your 1/16 or 1/32 plywood doublers for the ribs where the landing gear goes. And your landing gear blocks are also included, the groove landing gear blocks. There's 2 of them. And then, of course, you glue these to the ribs, to the front of the ribs, where you're going to mount your landing gear. So that's all in there. And then I've already told you that the wire gear is also part of the kit. And that leaves the plan, which I'm not going to unfurl and go through, because the plan is about 7 feet long and I haven't got room to do it. But it's a good plan to build by. It's a full-size plan. So I hope this video helped you. As far I know, it's a little bit longer than most of the videos I make, but I kind of wanted to go through that kit and give you an idea of the contents of it. As I said, there's a lot of material in this kit, a lot of balsa. I've had several people order 2 kits. We can't get 2 kits in one box, so we have to ship it in 2 different boxes. Normally we just tape them together and ship them, or Eric will ship them out of California. Okay, if you got any questions, please post them on the forum or give me a call, whatever you want to do. And that's it for right now. I hope this helped.